All right. That was a cool little introduction.
It was nice little jazzy,
Vibe.
quiet storm, giving soft and warm, quiet storm. Huh?
Cleo Soul and Erica Badu type beat by Four Souls. I don't know. I just be typing in the free instrumentals
Uh-huh.
from
I
like
love Cleo Soul. She has her and her husband had a little group with one of those little rappers from London. I think it was
mm,
called Black Salt. Her husband, Cleo Soul husband, is a producer, and their little album's pretty good. Black Salt, yeah.
mm. I ain't never heard of that. I just like the little free beats because that's a real Tranika used to get down there make our raps. We used to be rapping in the car.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah. Well, tonight's episode is titled Save Yourself from the Zombie Apocalypse. Let me read that right. Save yourself from the zombie apocalypse. So, on today's episode, we will be discussing the importance of taking care of yourself before attempting to save others. We will touch on what it looks like to allow others to find their own path of mental, physical, and spiritual fortitude and connections. We will also discuss what spiritual and religious psychosis can look like and possible causes. And as always, we will talk our sass, crack jokes, and get off task in our West Tennessee lingo. And there is a quote added to the introduction paragraph today, and it says, I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me by John Rome.
Hmm. Yeah. So I do have a word today
Right? I don't know
for
what.
November the 9th, 2025. For the Merriam-Webster's word of the day is an adjective, and it's improvident. Improvident. Excuse me. Improvident. And what it means, improvident is a formal word used to describe something that does not foresee or provide for the future, especially with regard to money. An improvident relationship habit or practice is financially unwise or impractical.
Now,
Mhm.
say, read the definition again.
It's a formal word used to describe something that does not foresee or provide for the future, especially with regard to money. An improvident relationship habit or practice is financially unwise or impractical. So basically, it's a misuse of money. It's not a practical use of money.
Well, sometimes you gotta spend a little money. You gotta spend something to get some.
Right. Well, it says improvident describes someone's actions or habits as being unwise with regards to saving or providing for the future. Mm.
So basically, you ain't good with your money.
I guess. Yeah, right now it's hard to be good with your money.
It sure is. That's what I was gonna say.
What you mean?
I'm a Bobby Hemming for us. Just put $40 on it.
Okay. Long as that shit on.
Let me. He said he got 10. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna read my card. I pulled from my empath deck, and I pull practice self compassion, and it means to see yourself with love and kindness, acknowledge your growth as an empath, and honor the person you have become. Well, we're getting ready to talk about allowing others to find their own path of mental, physical, and spiritual fortitude and connection. Uh, well, we just got started, so yeah, just rock with it. See what this gonna do.
Okay. Can I
So
hop on with Dunny son? What's up, Dunny son? You want to get in on the convo?
we get
All right, we finna be talking about self love in the zombie apocalypse. Okay, you ready to get me?
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so some things about self care. What self care is, like the quote that we started, that we stated originally. I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me by John Rohn, and that relates to making sure that you're okay and that you have a cup that you can pour from before you're able to take care of somebody else. And so you have to be whole before you can, or just being a whole person, period. You know, a lot of times we get into situations, we think that we have to, no, I'm partially, no, you're a whole person. You need to take care of yourself and get with somebody who knows how to take care of themselves, and y'all come together as two wholes. So, some important things, what self-care is. Self-care is important, is an important, excuse me, self-care is important, not selfish, that allows you to be a better version of yourself for yourself and others. The premise of self-care is pouring from a full cup. And personal growth and well being are not isolated pursuits, but are interconnected with the health of human connections. Self care is essential because taking care of self allows you to be better equipped to contribute positively to the lives of those around you.
Right. So basically, if you're not in survival mode, then you're more inept to be able to do for somebody else.
Right. But the crazy thing is, it's like when my life here recently, my life has gotten easier within the past 6 months, but I'm still moving on fight or flight. I'm still moving on I get so anxious still, and I be having damn near panic attacks, anxiety be going on. But I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she says what happens is she was like, everything in your life is smooth. You have support and everything that you need. I was like, right. And she says what is happening is
Mm.
your body and nervous system is not knowing how to just relax. It's just your body is ready to self sabotage. And I was like, yeah. And when she described that, I was like, I always feel like I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop,
Yeah,
as if
that's what Donnie's son just said. He's like, it's hard to get out of survival mode, and he realized that he's been in it in fight mode for 20 years, and it kind of correlate with what you're saying too, as far as always waiting for the other foot to drop. So is it really that we are in survival mode or fight mode, or is it that you've been conditioned to think something bad is gonna happen? So therefore your mindset is, well, let me see. The worst that could happen is this, so let me be prepared for it.
right. And like Donna said, a lot of it is my own doing. I think we have been programmed, but also too, when you've gone through so many traumatic situations in life, you're just always holding your breath, waiting on like, ooh, I can't relax. Something bad finna happen. When stuff start looking too good, mentally you be feeling like, ooh, something to happen, bruh. Let me just be prepared. You're being prepared for the soft, so-called soft landing if things don't go correctly.
And that's even when you make plans to do something. Then when you have, like, it's smart to have a plan A, B, C, but then again, if you got to make all these side plans, then do you really have? Are you really confident in what you have set out to do?
Right.
Is there a difference? Like, is there a difference in, like, having confidence in yourself to say, okay, well, this is my goal, so this is exactly what I'm gonna do? Or are you open to just open to move with the ebbs and flow of life if shit don't go how you planned it?
I think you have to have a little bit of both. You always have to plan, but sometimes your plans and expectations don't always go as planned. So you still have to be open and be creative when that doesn't happen, and that's a form of self-care. So I'm gonna go into forms of self-care. uh you have different forms. You have physical self-care, which includes exercise, nutrition, sleep, sunlight. You have mental and emotional self-care, which includes journaling, mindfulness practices, reading, writing, meditation, taking breaks from technology. Then you have social and spiritual self-care, which is engaging in spiritual practices, talking about or sorting through all of your feelings, good or bad,
Mm.
quality time with friends and family or pets, going to groups, book clubs. And then you have environmental self care, spending time outdoors, taking nature walks, organizing your living and working spaces. And so I
So
feel like a
basically,
lot,
you need to be able to have something to do.
yes, you do need to have something to do. But a lot of time I think we live in the word, right. Like Donnie Son said, sorting through feelings is the hardest one. And we live in a world where we're always searching for a specific happiness. We always want to be up high. We looking for that serotonin
So
rush
what
that in
if you're trying to sort through first to sort through feelings, you got to be raw enough to even acknowledge those feelings.
right. And you have to acknowledge good and bad feelings. But we live in a society where everything is searching for happiness all the time, and it's like, no, you're not gonna always fucking be happy. Like, stuff happens. I need to feel how I'm gonna feel. Like, today I ain't in no good mood. I need to be in that bad mood just for a little while. I need to feel all of it, because once again you're searching for a high that's not going to always be there. And then by that time, you're overstimulated because you're searching for something that's not going to always be there. You need to have the hot highs and the lows. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying crash out, but I'm saying you need to understand your emotions and your feelings, all of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just was having conversation, conversing.
Oh no. I get it.
So, but that's what he said. It's too many distractions. Feelings are temporary. Feelings are very much temporary, and I think a lot of times people don't get. stuck, don't get out of those feelings because you like you I was just gonna say what he said, you haven't completed the lesson or you haven't learned
Hmm.
what you needed to learn to move on from those feelings. And you can go through multiple situations, multiple relationships, platonic and romantic, trying to complete one lesson.
Hmm. I agree.
Yeah. So if you really trying to feel through those feelings, my question is how can we do that if everybody is that's why people that's exactly why people date the same people in different bodies. Hell yeah, I done did it two,
That
three
lesson
times.
be kicking your ass over and
Man,
over and over. You just ain't gonna get it. It's just I'm finna send the same person back. You
dude,
got
we
to
done been
start
there.
over.
We have talked about dating the
And
same
we
person.
are ready for that, Donnie son. We are ready for
Right,
that
we are
conversation.
there. Shit. But for real though.
Keep traumatizing yourself. Keep getting that same raggedy person or that same raggedy friend. All the red flags were there, but you just kept on going because that's
Right.
what you used
You
to. You
like
want to
going to
be
the carnival and fucking Six Flags.
right. You keep want to be in anguish.
It
Uh,
does.
okay, so next,
Yeah.
psychology today's four psychological pillars, the four C's of self care. So the first one is connection with yourself and others. We are wired for connection. What matters? So some questions you need to ask yourself for that specific connection with yourself. What matters to you? Can you recognize when you are emotionally off course?
Ooh. Yes. I can
Okay.
say that I can. Well, for me, I can. And I have gotten to the point to where I own up to it and be like, well, I feel like this because I felt insecure on whatever happened, or this is I panicked or whatever. Like if I
Hmm.
fuck up, if I really like you, if I really did with you, I'ma admit it. I might
Right.
cry, snot cry through it, and get mad, but I'ma say, I this is why I did what I did. I felt this way, even though I
Right.
know feelings are not facts, but it's still very important to acknowledge how you feel,
Hmm.
just to explain your behavior or why you did what you done
Right.
or why
Because
you
feelings
acting the way you act.
will take you there. Feelings will
Yes,
send you
feelings. It is
in
a fact that you have feelings.
yes.
Yeah, 100.
So okay, so with the connection, self connection builds the foundation for setting boundaries, making aligned decisions and showing up authentically in the world. The
Yeah,
next C is compassion, and that is kindness with substance. The ability to hold pain of our own or others with tenderness and courage.
yeah,
So, self compassion means to nurture yourself because you deserve care as well as protection. And also, gratitude is important because you acknowledge what is good in your lives. Um, and that allows the brain to shift from threat to possibilities. So
right.
once again, gratitude is acknowledging what is good in your life, whether it's big or small. And what that does, it allows your brain to shift from everything being a threat to a possibility. So that gives you a little bit of, hope, like, okay, I'm doing good in this. So, and that's having compassion, but you got to have compassion for yourself to even consider having compassion for others. And we're
Right,
living in a
because if you're an
time,
angry person, if you're angry all the time, or if you don't appreciate even the small things, how can
right,
you be there for somebody else? And then if you go back and you think about that, is as a parent, if you're angry all the time, how can you put positivity or any type of uplifting into your children?
or if you angry all the time, hey, you can't even uplift yourself.
I
You
get
know.
that, but like at the right, you pass down that anger. You pass down
Hmm.
that I'm not grateful for anything or a
Right,
level of entitlement.
right. And what we're seeing nowadays, it's a lot of lack of compassion all around. People have no, and social media will really send you. You get in the comments, you be like, "Oh Lord, y'all really ain't got no compassion for people. People
Oh,
is
people really be
hard."
laughing at stuff that's not funny.
Right. And sometimes stuff be funny, but a lot of people don't have compassion. But if you can't have compassion for somebody else, that means you have no tolerance or compassion for yourself. You are hard
Ugh.
on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so the next
sometimes
no, go
it's
ahead.
okay to be hard on yourself, to push you. But if you
Yeah.
don't ever take time and be like, damn, let me just take a second and breathe and just sit down and care for myself, you're gonna crash out. You're gonna burn.
O- Okay, so that's the next C. The next C is called the next C of self-care is courage. Doing the hard thing anyway. The thing what you just said. Sometimes you got to do the hard things, the things that you're scared of because that's what courage is made of. And it says courage includes fear. A prime example, this is scary, but I'll do it anyway.
Yeah. Okay, this
Um
one of my favorite songs by Erica Mason. It's called Do It Anyway. I love this
mhm,
song. Side note,
mhm.
my bad.
It's all right.
I'm having a day today, bro. Like
You
what?
sound like it.
Huh?
You sound like it. You sound like you're
Ooh,
going through the motion. Have you ever
I'm
read The
not going through
Obstacle
the
is the
motions.
Way?
No. Is
No. Okay.
is
Donnie
that
son.
a book or well never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Okay. Let me screenshot this. The obstacle is the way. Okay. So is it basically saying that sometimes you need those obstacles to push you to the next level? Oh, or the mountain is you.
Yeah,
That's T. Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay. The mountain is you. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's another book. Okay, come on with the books. Cause this what we about right here: self care
I
and
like
self accountability and growth. And so another thing that courage does, courage helps us to question social narratives that do not resonate with self. There's always a social narrative wherever we go. Their narratives is what make up this world. There are narratives here that may be positive that you agree with. There are gonna be narratives there that may not agree with. But what it's saying is question courage helps you to question social narratives that do not resonate with self. So yeah, they can have a narrative, but if you don't agree with it, then you need to have the courage to know that you don't agree with it and for you to question it. And to me that sounds kind of like what do we say that they don't teach kids anymore in schools? Um critical thinking.
critical thinking. I will
Yes.
tell you that one of the best books that I ever was introduced into when I was working at 12 step program was Courage to Change. And
Mhm.
it's a daily reader where it just gives you different topics that most people that's in some form of recovery deals with um
Mhm.
to self reflect on or whether or to a way to like start your day with
Mhm.
those daily readers. So that's another one too. Courage. It's
Yes.
not like it's a book, but it's just one where you just read a daily,
It's
or
a
if you
daily
have like
reminder.
a burning like desire or something that's really on your mind that you need to, work through or talk through, then you can go into the index and search that topic and then read on it. And sometimes
Mm.
it's really good, informative examples of how to deal with whatever you trying to process.
Right. Okay, and then, like I said, courage helps us to question social narratives that do not resonate with self. Also, courage is discomfort over disconnection, truth over ease.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to I'd rather you give me the truth than make it easy for me. Then I can
Yeah.
identify how I really feel and
Yes.
then move forward, like you said, have
Hmm.
the courage to move forward and deal with those emotions and feelings instead of being stuck and just continue,
Hmm.
like Donnie's son said, and going through that same lesson over and over and over again when I can just, shit, cry.
Right.
If I need to get in the shower and cry, man, just Gonna have to get in the shower and cry.
And
Hey,
instead of disconnecting, sometimes you have to be uncomfortable.
yeah,
And when we are, like I said, discomfort over disconnection. Sometimes we get uncomfortable, and instead of facing it head on, what do? Oh, I'm just finna whatever disconnect.
right. Practice
Oh, you not
cognitive
finna hurt me.
dissonance.
Being vulnerable, and I use a situation of being in relationships, being vulnerable. If somebody does something that you feel is triggering, I'm gonna leave you before you leave me. So I'm just gonna disconnect from the whole situation.
Ghosting is real.
Yes, it's a real thing.
Then
Okay,
that
the fourth.
when you practice those type of things though, like ghosting or I'ma leave before you leave, that's how you end up dating the same person in a different body.
Ah, that's
Because
you
you
get that
haven't
same
done the
mirror
work
back.
that, right, because you haven't done the work that you need to do to deal with that part of yourself.
Right. Why are you abandoning a situation when you
Every
really
time.
haven't? Right. When you it's time to get vulnerable and be open. And instead of being open and risking the chance of being hurt, you dip out.
Right.
Hmm. Okay,
Mhm.
so the fourth C of self-care is creativity. It plays as a path to resilience. Creativity is also about flexibility and seeing problems in a new way, adapting when plans go awry, and imagining alternatives. Creativity and play helps develop socially adept, emotional, flexible brains. Cammy.
What? I'm listening. I'm thinking.
Oh. so so creativity is being flexible in so many words, like that
Yeah.
allows you to, when you are faced with different issues, see it in a different light. It gives you perspective, because so many times we lose our creativity as adults, whereas children
You
still
lose
have
your
that.
and your imagination because you dealing with so much stuff that you don't have time to be like, okay, say for instance, if when you get up in the morning, say if this is your schedule, Monday through Saturday, you get up at 5, you gotta be at work at 6:30. You don't get out of work till 5:30. Then somebody got a game, somebody got practice, somebody got something they gotta do. So by the time you make it home, it's 9:30. If you
Hmm.
it's 35 and above, I'm finna go to bed. There we go. Then you just repeating the same thing. It's the Truman Show. So it's so easy to get caught up in the rat race, and then when
Yeah,
you get
I
caught up
agree.
in it. So once you realize that, then you got to do whatever you need to do to remove yourself out of that situation to develop your creativity again.
Right. And that means if you don't have the time during the week, find the time during the weekends to do something. Creativity practices. Like little children are good at this. They are just imaginative. And I think a lot of times too, if you're a creative adult, people look at you as being weird or different. Oh,
Right.
you
I
quirky,
get
you
called
weird.
weird all the time because I go outside. I be outside hanging out. You catch me at
Hmm.
the park on a good day, just sitting in the sun. I'm like, what the fuck wrong with her,
So you
man?
say allow yourself to be bored. I agree. Oh
Yeah,
Lord, what do being bored feel like? I remember when I was young, I stayed talking about, oh, I'm bored. I'm
I
bored.
be bored. You don't be bored.
I think I do, but every time I
So
try to get
when
bored,
you go to work, you don't be bored. I think that's the most boring shit in the world is going doing the same thing every day. I be
it
bored
is.
because there's only so much that you can do in a setting where you're not the person that's in charge. If
But we don't like.
you're limited on what you can and can't do or how you can tap into your creativity at the setting where you have to go for 7 to 8 hours every day, that's boring.
That is.
I'm
But
bored as hell.
I agree with Donnie's son. Let your mind wander. I let my mind wander, but then as soon as I get to wander, I have to pull myself back in. I start getting on this phone and scrolling. And this scrolling is just like a form of self-soothing. I don't know
Yeah,
how.
you
I
have to
used to hate.
practice mindfulness, what he said. Like,
Yes, you.
yeah, like you do. I do a lot of things to practice mindfulness, but you still you got to have a level of balance. And,
Yes, the phone
and
does cause
when
anxiety.
you have, matrix type responsibilities, the phone does cause anxiety. Yes, because please
That
turn it.
doom scrolling, but it causes anxiety. It does. In the moment, you don't feel like it because you be anxious. You be like, "Oh, let me get on this phone and just listen to other folks talk, so I can relax my
Or
mind."
it
And the
causes
minute,
certain type of anxieties, especially if you are at a place where you might still be in survival mode. So you
hmm
stay comparing yourself of what you have and haven't accomplished to other people's. Yes, especially if you're an empath, which both of us
are empaths.
are
Yes,
very empathetic. So if you know what I'm saying, like when you do have to go touch grass, I'm going,
yes,
yeah,
absorbing a natural amount of global energy that is not ours, and we already know that our auric field is being attacked in every direction from the
especially for
phones,
them phones.
from everything out here. Our auric fields are being attacked drastically. But that's another conversation for another day. But yes, unnatural amount of global energies.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And
I
everybody,
agree.
you right. Yep. So what are we? So now we talking about the different ways to save yourself. Is there any more steps, or what do we need to go into how you become a zombie?
Okay, so that's all for that. So the next is allowing how you allow others to find their own path of mental, spiritual, physical fortification. Um that was what we're gonna talk about next. Like really, basically self-care. And a lot of people have to you have to do the work for yourself, but you also have to allow others to find their path. Like I know for now, right now, a lot of people are getting back into religion heavily. I know a lot of people in our generation, they're not necessarily going to church, but they're reading the Bible and they're trying to find some type of comfort, which is it's good. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to find some type of something for you to find peace and comfort. But also, people have to understand a lot of it is fear based as well. Because a lot of
Are
people,
people really getting back into the Bible? Because like where I see a lot of people been really like looking at it, kind of side eyeing it a
yeah,
little.
a lot of people are looking at sideline, but a lot of people are getting back into a lot of people our generation because they don't know which direction to go to. Like some of us are into spirituality, some of us are into religion. And now I'm not even gonna say religion. Some of us are into getting back into reading the Bible and understanding, different commandments and what needs to be done, especially as it relates to a lot of us are trying to get the nuclear family back. So a lot of us feel like you have to go to the Bible to understand what the nuclear, the mother, the mother, the wife, the husband, and the children. So that's why I'm saying that because there is a lot of people in our generation that are trying to find comfort and find themselves via religion, the Bible, spirituality, or whatever, because that is part of it. You know what I'm saying? You do have to have that balance there.
So, do you think that you have to, in order to have a nuclear family, you have to take the patriarchal route of
No, I do
what it
not.
says
I
in
don't.
the Bible?
I don't think so. And is the nuclear family really is that conducive right now? You know what I'm saying? So it's questions to it, but like I said, a lot of people are getting into that because they are wanting to find love and be married and have nuclear
I don't
family.
even, and to a certain extent, I don't even know if it's about like the love thing. I've been seeing a lot of people just trying to
Or is
cohabitate
it
to survive.
true? True. Or is it basic domestication that we have learned and that they're
That's
telling
what
us
you're supposed to do.
that's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do?
But
I agree.
I think it's natural to a certain extent to where you want to, spend your downtime with a companion
Mm-hmm.
because we
That's
are
true.
social creatures.
Mhm. But I
But
will say this, like as far as us talking about the zombie apocalypse, when you do start getting into spirituality and religion, and you start finding out truths, whether it be about religion, whether it be about spirituality, when you start finding out the truths and unprogramming yourself from what you have been taught to learn, and as you say, unlearning the domestication part, it is easier to go into a different direction when it comes to your mental stability and leading into
yes, the deprogramming is difficult. That's just
it.
like when you watch that movie, like when you saying, like we talk about being domesticated, and when you're learning to not do the things that you were taught or trained to do growing up. It is hard. It's just like that movie, The Matrix, when he unplugs
Hmm.
himself. Like
Yes, because
you'll mess around and lose like and really
you
start when
lose
you
it.
start receiving those downloads of what you know you're supposed
Hmm.
to be doing versus what somebody has trained you to do. You have to really be able to balance yourself and, like Donnie's son said, go touch some grass so that you can be grounded.
Yes.
Otherwise, you finna end up on some psychotropic drugs.
Yes, it can lead into psychosis. And I think it's once you find out the truth of life too fast and too much. It's okay to find out the truth, but what they say, taking the rose colored glasses off. When you take
Man,
the rose colored glasses off, baby, you open up yourself to a whole nother, you open yourself up to some stuff. You have to be ready for that.
yeah. And if you're
You
not ready, you. But I mean, when are you really ready? I guess you're ready when it comes to you, but you still have to take it in bits and pieces at a time. If you have what? Okay, Andrew. If you have that threw me. Well, at least you can laugh about it, Andrew.
exactly. Because we all
It
got
must
problems,
not be
baby.
it must not be too bad if you laugh. Oh, oh Lord. That was so funny.
But yes,
Yeah.
okay. So
So,
back to as far as finding out the truths of life and taking the rose colored glasses off. That's a hard pill to swallow.
it is.
Realizing what you have been trained to think all your life is not correct. Some of it may be correct, but a lot of it is incorrect. And when that happens, that's when you lead into psychosis. And most of the time, when people do go into psychosis, the theme is not random, but it reflects what is most meaningful or familiar to that person specifically.
Mhm.
So, and that's where the zombie parts come in because you have to be careful. And it's nothing wrong with psychosis, but it's easy to get into psychosis. So let me just
And be stuck there.
and be stuck there, right? So what religious and spiritual psychosis is, it involves delusions, strongly held or altered beliefs and hallucinations where sensory experiences, but basically which are sensory experiences without external stimuli. So it's all coming from within, and it's usually with religious or spiritual themes.
Yeah.
So so symptoms of psychosis are disorganized thoughts and significant behavioral changes. um
So let me ask you
cause
this.
Uh-huh.
Before you go into we appreciate you too, Jeffrey. Thank you, and come back. So if you think that like, say for instance, if I made tragic drastic changes within my
Mhm,
life, somebody else could say, "Oh, Cammy's in religious or spiritual psychosis
mhm,
because what I'm doing and how I'm changing my life is completely out of what they're used to seeing me."
mhm,
But I might not be in a spiritual psychosis. I might just really be changing my life in a way that makes what I'm doing uncomfortable. So who determines who's in psychosis? Like who's the determining
mhm.
factor?
That's a good question because many times, if you make some drastic changes in your family, your so called family that you grew up with or you were born into, if it's not what they believe or deem as right, they will look at you like you crazy and they will not know
Yeah.
what to do
A
with
lot
you.
of people will look at you like you crazy.
Yes,
Not
they
just
will.
family. It could be community. If you really are making changes within your life and you're doing things drastically different than anybody has ever seen you do, people are gonna say, "Oh, what the fuck? What is wrong with her?"
Right. And they
Make
may deem that as
yeah,
religious psychosis. But I think so with psychosis, they have to give everything a name, a proper name. So I think what scares people because they always they say that psychosis is likened to schizophrenia. And my opinion about schizophrenia is some people have special gifts and certain gifts that others don't. And I'm not saying that, some people have schizophrenia and they really be needing help. Not saying that everybody, I'm not I'm not saying that mental health is not
I
real.
think that it is situational. Like if you are a person, like I think it just depends on who is the determining factor because you could be considered schizophrenic in the United States, but if you go somewhere else, then you might be considered a shaman.
A shaman or gift, exactly. And when you're living in a place that's big on pharmaceuticals and medication,
Right.
and
So
there's
that you
only
can
everything is put in a
get
box. It's a
yeah.
certain box in a certain way things should look. And when those things start stepping outside of those boxes on what we have been trained to believe and domesticated to believe is right, that's when you start getting into issues.
Mm-hmm. Or when somebody or if how you're living your life is makes other people uncomfortable. Like you
Correct.
stated, if I'm not fitting into this box of what a functional adult should look like or how they should carry themselves, then that's when people start considering you, oh, you she weird or she whatever.
Hmm.
Excuse me, that was so nasty.
We are real people, y'all. So excuse us. We might get a yawn in there or a burp every once in a while, but we are real people. I promise. We are
And I'm
sitting in our
drinking a cup of
houses.
that water.
We do not have sponsors.
No. And if we did, I probably still would burp. It's natural.
Oh goodness. Okay. So this is what they say psychosis looks like. Delusion and altered beliefs, religious delusions, grandiose beliefs, paranoid, extreme guilt or fear. Then you also have hallucinations and altered perceptions, which is seeing, hearing, or perceiving things not present, intense sensory experiences, disorganized thoughts and behavior, this which is disorganized speech, catatonic and disorganized behavior, social withdrawal, decline in self-care, extreme emotional response, and then possible functional impairment, the inability to function in harmful behaviors. I think it's only a problem when you practice harmful behaviors. So I wonder what they thought Jesus was back in the day then.
Probably crazy.
Because he said that I am the way and the light. I am here to guide y'all and
So,
teach
but if
y'all.
if he said that, but if I went to stood in front of Kroger and said, "I think that I am," they're gonna be like, "Somebody needs to come and drop this lady off."
You going on a grippy side
I'm
vacation?
going on Riverside vacation, so I don't understand what the difference is. Like, why come? And then, did that really even exist? How you know that's
It-
not a figment of somebody's imagination? How you know the person that wrote those stories or
Mhm.
translated or whatever, however they came about, wasn't in psychosis?
Right. And that could be in the brains, what was going on in their minds. We don't know.
Right. So you don't know, but it's just say, oh, believe blindly. Like, why would I believe that blindly when it's so many people now that are put. They're saying, "Oh, this person is in spiritual or religious psychosis," and then you might be in psychosis because you might have had a super traumatic event occur in your life and you can't get out of it.
Yes.
Your
So
brain
that is,
won't remove you out of that situation. You just repeating it.
yes. So the causes of psychosis are psychological stressors, cultural influences, trauma and severe stress, and substance abuse.
Right.
So what I've been
Like
seeing
the
here
weed.
lately is a
I've
lot of
been
these people that, huh?
I've been seeing a lot of people talk about weed psychosis.
Yes, I have too. The last couple years, I have been seeing a lot of young people that have been going through marijuana psychosis. So that's why I don't smoke marijuana. I just real I cannot smoke marijuana because unless it's like some of that stuff from like 2005, it's got to be that hydroponic with the sticks and the seeds and the stems. I can smoke some dro any day, but I don't smoke. For y'all, those of y'all, I don't smoke, but a lot of this marijuana is inducing psychosis, and you have to think about it. That's because the weed back then did not have high THC. It had thanks Andrew,
Thank you, Andrew.
the marijuana back then had more cannabinoid receptors, and cannabinoid receptors are what causes your body to relax. Your
Yeah.
body has cannabinoid receptors that receives the CBD from marijuana, and it causes you to relax your body. So back then, that was the percentage of CBD was higher than the THC. THC is what causes the receptors in your brain and causes mental stimulation or mental whatever. So what has happened with a lot of this marijuana now, the THC levels have gone way higher, and it's causing psychosis in people. Because I know when they started changing the weed over to that strong wrapper weed, I would always feel like I would get so anxious and feel like I was
Yeah. It made me
losing it.
paranoid.
Yes, it made me paranoid. It made my friends. Bye, Andrew.
All
What's
right,
your
bye,
shopping?
Andrew. What kind of shop you get?
Right. What kind of shop you got? What's the website? We need to shop on your shop in Thailand. But yes, marijuana made me paranoid. And so I had to,
Ah,
oh, you
okay.
sell groceries. So I had to stop smoking it because I was trying to do it to be socially to fit in. But after a while, I had to stop because every time I smoked it, I felt like I was getting closer and closer to losing my
Jumping off
mind.
the fucking edge.
Yes. So that makes me wonder also about these shrooms, all of this stuff that they're pushing for people to take.
Yes. To me, even if it's not like the weed or the shrooms, just the pharmaceuticals in general can put you into a form of psychosis.
Yes. And that's where we get the zombie apocalypse, people.
So now you
So,
got everybody zooted out because everybody on Xanax, Lexapro, and
and once again,
all these
everybody is
anxiety meds.
right because we live in a society that's always searching for that high, that happiness, that constant stimulation to keep you up high when sometimes life is ebbs and flows.
But I think a lot
So,
of people do it because they don't want to feel raw feelings.
right, they don't
So
because they
you
the only
how can
feelings they
you
want to
how
feel is
can you say
happiness
you genuinely living life if you don't acknowledge how you really feel? Or if you be high
because
drunk all day long, how are you? I mean, I understand how. I'm just throwing out
yeah.
thought provoking.
Because they think you're supposed to always feel happiness. Happiness comes from working a million hours a week and getting money to
What?
come home and buy all the things that you can buy in the world and keep buying
So
the same stuff
happiness
over and
comes
over
from
again.
material
Yes. In a
material.
capitalist society, it does.
Mm.
Happiness is being able to have stuff and have more than the next person. And
But how much
so,
stuff do you need though?
yeah, I don't know. I ask myself every day when I go home, I be like, why do I have this much stuff in my house?
I be trying to. I stay throwing away stuff. I don't even need this no more.
Exactly. So here are some treatments for psychosis. Medication, which is antipsychotic medications for hallucinations and delusion. You have
Yeah.
mood disorders or mood stabilizers or
So let me ask
antidepressants.
you this. I'm gonna ask you this. So
Mhm.
if you is it levels to psychosis? Like you
I
might be
believe it is.
just a little bit a little bit
Yeah,
there,
I
and then
think it
you
is.
might have it to the point to where you have um where you having all type of hallucinations, and that could be as like the worst, and then
Mm.
when you only having like minimal things that are occurring. So if and then I what is it a difference when you have like what caused your psychosis, whether you just went through something traumatic or if you are really just removing yourself away from, say for like if you was removing yourself away from how you grew up, religious, like say if you grew up really into
Hmm.
church and really in believing this, and now you are at a point in your life to where you like, damn, I'm really questioning all of this. So
Hmm.
versus the psychosis where you might have been a victim of rape or something, and so
Right, a
now
traumatic.
like it's two different levels.
Yes, it's different levels, and I think you can see that nowadays in a lot of these children that are coming up that are on a lot of psychotropic drugs
It's grown
because of
longer than the psychotropic drug. TikTok, baby, everybody on pills.
yes,
I ain't gonna
it's
say
it's
everybody, but a lot of people are on medication
medication. Hmm.
instead of just really Donnie's son said earlier, like really feeling your feelings and dealing with what you are feeling instead of putting a band-aid on it. Like I get sometimes, yes, you do. Somebody might really need something to balance their chemicals out,
Hmm.
their chemical levels out.
Yeah, some
But
people need that, but
yeah,
a lot of times
but
it's easier.
do you think that you could have prevented needing that by doing the minimal, by doing the work on yourself, instead of maybe like say for instance, okay, let me get my words together. Say for instance, if
Hmm.
you went through something and
Hmm.
instead of you drinking or smoking weed or whatever to just kind of mask it, and
Hmm.
you actually just sat down with yourself or with your therapist or with your sponsor or with whoever and talked about it and really dissected what the issue was, you would have not progressed to the state of where you actually now you are in a state of depression or you are in a state of psychosis to where you are hallucinating. Do you think that that's
Yes,
of
I think if you catch it early enough and you get the supportive care, that's of treatment. That is a treatment. And so one of the treatments is supportive care, peer groups, holistic treatments, counseling. So some of this stuff can be prevented, but we live in once again a capitalistic
we live in
society.
a microwave society where everybody wants everything to happen instantly.
Well, that's capitalism because capitalism makes it to where everything is convenient, it's accessible. So why go sit through some counseling and really have to work on myself and talk about what I
When
got
I
going
could just
on? Well, I
talk
could
to
take a
you,
pill.
I
Right.
could. But I,
And
I
I
mean,
think
I don't know. That's crazy to me. I mean, it's not crazy. I understand it because if you internalize a lot of things, to like most people that are empathetic internalize things, and you're gonna take it in and you're gonna try to figure out how you can fix it yourself. When a lot of times it's not your issue to fix. But
or a lot of
if
times if
you dealing with it, then how do you like when you? I forgot my train of thought. These folks,
I
why
think too
not
it depends. It depends on the situation because a lot of times this stuff comes on from trauma. A lot of stuff be trauma based and it's ingrained in you. So it's going to be harder to you for you to go to supportive care if you've been in a family or you've been in a situation of just constant trauma.
Yeah.
So
Cause a
that's
lot
going
of times, if you've been in survival, we talked about survival mode. If you've been in survival mode your entire life, you don't even realize you're in survival mode.
exactly. So you don't realize how bad the trauma
But
is.
until you try to go and deal with, maybe deal with somebody, or you might really, be put into a situation to where you ain't got no choice but to be like, damn, I've been in survival mode my whole life.
And usually that doesn't come until you can stabilize and you're comfortable. And usually that don't come until you get
Till you hit rock
money,
bottom, or something happen bad, or something.
rock bottom, or you
Mhm.
have access and accessibility because you can relax because now you're in a comfortable space. So it's a rock and a hard place. It's a double edged sword when we live in a country or a place in the world that we're in now. And as far as levels of psychosis, I think there's levels to it because looking based off of the treatments, there are
Mhm.
different forms of treatments and different routes you can go. And it says hospitalization if needed, and that's based on you harming risk. You
Self
about to
harm.
harm.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're in harm's way, harming yourself or going to harm somebody, then okay, that's a wrap. But it looks like supportive care is a big one. They have cognitive behavioral therapy to manage stress, trauma, and cope with triggers.
Hey,
That's
let's
psycho.
go on the side note. I don't What you talking about, the cognitive behavior treatment. When I
Mm,
you know we talked about shameless.
yes.
So on Shameless, it's a lady on there, Sheila, who
Mm-hmm.
dated Frank Gallagher for a little while, but she had anxiety to the point where she couldn't leave her house.
Well.
So she did virtual reality cognitive behavior therapy. So she would put on these goggles and go to different
Mm-hmm.
places like the grocery store, and
Mm-hmm.
riding on the train or whatever. But she still would freak out, even though she knew she was at home in her living room doing these therapy sessions with these goggles on, but she still would have like full fledged
Panic attack.
episodes. Yes, that's
So
huh.
I I think in some situations, okay, I'm not a component of conventional medication. I'm not.
I'm
I'm
not,
not.
but if you need that
But
shit,
if you
hey,
need it, you need it. And I think sometimes the medication along with supportive care is what you need. But now they just give you medicine and send
now
you on your way.
they're just giving you meds, so you just putting band-aids over hurt and mental illness instead of actually dealing with how did this all start. I'm not saying get stuck in that remnant, you know
Hmm.
place in your mind to get stuck there.
Ruminating.
But
Hmm.
you do need to go into your brain to figure out what happened and why am I here to in order to move forward. Like you got to go
Yeah.
back to move forward when you dealing in stuff like that.
And that comes with supportive care and therapy,
But most
cognitive
people
behavior
practice
therapy.
cognitive dissonance, so I would rather just give me the Xanax.
You're right, because it's easier. It is easier. So next week we can talk about the different types of drugs and medications.
Yeah. Oh, I
We
don't
can t-
have
yeah, what?
my paper with my prayer
Oh,
on it.
that's all right.
Yeah,
We
I'm
send the
probably gonna write
prayers.
one. I'm gonna write a new one anyway.
Yes, we sending prayers up, prayers down, as above, so below, to those that came before us, from the families of the Currens, Blacks, Johnsons, Crutchfields, Hills, what else? Morgans,
Mm-hmm.
is
Fuller.
that Fuller.
Uh, and all them before and after, and the ones that hit the door first.
Okay. Cause you done gave me all the knowledge I need. Keep sending that wisdom, baby. Cause I swear to God, I feel like I am this my memory, baby. Woo. That's all right. That's all right. It's called 4D and 41. When y'all get there, you'll understand.
What
Let
you
this
just
hurt.
say?
I said I need some mental prowess because I be forgetting shit.
What?
Literally in the middle of saying what I need to say, I be forgetting.
That's
Thoughts be
called
dropping.
mom brain.
That's called being 41 too. Cause shit, these goddamn kids big. They done took all the brains power
Yeah.
from me. But anyways, all right,
All
guys.
right. All right, Donnie son. Thank you.
Thank you for everybody that joined us. And until
Join us
next
next
time.
week. Oh, I should have titled this part 2, part 1.
Yeah, because we'll have to come back with a part two.